Yeah, this is working.
Dude, I wonder if they have Facebook Walk. Well, I mean, we did Facebook.
I got into it. It worked the other day. So.
Yeah, we did it Friday.
Yeah, we'll just share that link.
I don't understand why.
At least we got something that works. So I mean, like worst case scenario.
True.
Why is it showing? Well, it's saying live, but why can't I see it? Can you see it on yours? Yeah, I got it.
But man, I still think them cats are crazy. They were asking if you were around, how you was, where you could be found.
Hey, you got that monitor real quick.
Turned off. I'll say he unplugged his boat.
Pronunciations, did you, Jake? I'm sorry? You didn't get pronunciations, did you? No. What do you think? Is it Camag, you think? I always thought it was lineups and anthems. That's what I was thinking. Do you get like external mic or something on that thing too? 'Cause somehow it's like you pick it up from you. I have all my mics off.
That's no idea.
I can hear myself in the background.
I don't know which one's I'm gonna put two up. That do anything? Did that do anything? I think I just adjusted on the thing.
Mic test on one.
I'll take it back. That'll just screw us up with it. I should hope to be as bad for the game you're just doing by yourself and get like the ratio.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Is that it?
the captain for this evening's match
Racing?
Yeah.
All right.
for the Jaguars. Number 1, Jake Shoemaker. Number 3, Braden Miller. Number 5, Bryce Campbell. And number 13, Sam Wessel. Captains for the Mustangs.
Welcome to Laurel Highlands High School. It's time for high school boys soccer here on the South Union Township Sports Network. The South Union Township Supervisors presents the South Union Township Sports Network today from Laurel Highlands High School. It's high school boys soccer as the Mustangs take on the Thomas Jefferson Jaguars. Hi everybody, Brian Morozak alongside Billy Dice. South Union Township Sports Network coverage. A joint cooperative venture with Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott, along with Armstrong and Breezeline Cable and our friends at CUTV, including Gary Smith. Again, I'm Brian Morozak with Billy Dice, and we have the season opener for both Laurel Highlands and Thomas Jefferson on the way next. Laurel Highlands coming off a 6-11 season a year ago. The Mustangs 4-10 in conference play. Thomas Jefferson 16-2-1 last year, 12-1-1 in the conference. Jerry Rogers in his 10th year as the head coach of the Mustangs. Dr. Michael Kulish, the head coach of the Thomas Jefferson Jaguars. The Mustangs trying to bounce back after missing the playoffs in back-to-back seasons. Thomas Jefferson made the WPIAL quarterfinals last year in their preseason #1 in 3A, so not an easy opening game for the Mustangs here tonight. Thomas Jefferson's won the last 5 meetings over Laurel Highlands over the last 3 years. The last Mustang win the first game of the 2021 season as Laurel Highlands knocked off TJ there by a score of 1-0. I'm going to turn it over to our public address announcer Jason Taylor for the starting lineups and the national anthem.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Mustang Field here on the campus of Laurel Highlands Senior High School. For this evening's boys varsity soccer match between the visiting Thomas Jefferson Jaguars and your Laurel Highlands Mustangs. And now the starting lineups. First, for Thomas Jefferson. The Jaguars are led by head coach Mike Kulish, assistant coach Michael Kulish III, Derek Bakewell, and Scott Graham. A senior forward, number 1, Jake Shoemaker. A senior midfield, number 3, Braden Miller. A senior defender, number 5, Bryce Campbell. A senior defender, number 27, Colton Smith. A senior defender, number 24, Logan Schaefer. A senior midfielder, number 15, Dylan Lagiza. A junior defender, number 11, Will Mosier. A junior forward, number 20, Owen Householder. In goal, a junior, number 13, Sam Wessel. A sophomore midfielder, number 8, Benji Powell. And a sophomore midfielder, number 10, Evan Olson. And now, the starting lineup for your Laurel Highlands Mustangs. The Mustangs are led by head coach Jerry Rogers, assistant coaches Josh Naring, Brennan Chandler, Simon Mowinda, and Jerry Rogers Jr. A senior, number 1, Connor D'Amico. A senior, number 4, Ryan Rockwell. A sophomore, number 5, Dan O'Neill. A junior, number 8, Cole Radcliffe. A senior, number 15, Tanner Bruzda. A freshman, number 16, Jackson Nairn. A senior, number 17, Maddox McAllister. A junior, number 22, Casey Mahoney. A junior, number 23, Brody Baker. A freshman, number 27, Roman George. And a sophomore, number 38, Matt Kalensick. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we would ask everybody please rise. Gentlemen, remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
A warm night for high school soccer tonight. Game time temperature 88 degrees, expected to fall into the upper 70s by the end of this match. Certainly testing both of these schools here early on in the season. Again, Thomas Jefferson, one of the preseason favorites in 3A. Laurel Highlands trying to bounce back for the Mustangs in a very difficult section this year. Of course, we had section realignment in the offseason, and the Mustangs stuck with Ringgold, Albert Gallatin, Bethel Park, McKeesport, South Fayette, Thomas Jefferson, and Trinity. 8 teams in the conference. The top 4 will make the WPIAL playoffs. Interesting, Laurel Highlands and Uniontown actually in separate sections. The Red Raiders with Penn Trafford, Taylor Alderdice, Bell Vernon, Franklin Regional, Greater Latrobe, Washington, and West Mifflin. So even though Laurel Highlands and Uniontown separated by about 2 miles, they're playing in separate conferences for boys soccer here in 2024. Laurel Highlands girls soccer team will open up their season on the road tomorrow as well. They're actually scheduled to play East Allegheny here yesterday. That match was postponed, and they'll open up at West Mifflin tomorrow. They'll have a couple of games in Fayette County over at Albert Gallatin as part of the Fayette County Coaches Tournament coming up on Saturday. And their first game here on the South Union Township Sports Network will be against the Lady Jags of Thomas Jefferson coming up next Wednesday, and that'll be our next soccer broadcast here as well on the South Union Township Sports Network. Brian Morozak along with Billy Dice. Nice to have you along with us as our high school soccer season starts here tonight. Laurel Highlands and Thomas Jefferson Jags still huddling off to our right in their home whites, gold numbers, a little bit of black trim. Laurel Highlands in the home reds, white numbers, blue shorts. Mustangs moving left to right as we describe it here in the first half as the sun begins to set here at Mustang Field. Laurel Highlands starting Connor D'Amico, Ryan Rockwell, Cole Radcliffe, Tanner Brusda, Jackson there, and Maddox McAllister, Casey Mahoney, Brody Baker, Roman George, and Matt Kolensick with Daniel O'Neill in goal. And again, we'll recap the Thomas Jefferson starters in just a moment, as well as the Mustangs have the early control here with Ryan Rockwell bringing it through center off to his left to Tanner Brusda as the Mustangs try to spring Cole Radcliffe on the far side, but that ball lobbed back to center. Maddox McAllister tried to knock it down on the Laurel Highlands side, went out of play off the Mustangs, and out Thomas Jefferson trying to spring down the far side, looking for the early attack here. And the Mustangs able to get possession back, but just momentarily as the Jags send it over the far boundary and out. And Maddox McAllister will work it back in here for Laurel Highlands. And Billy would do the monitor working here again. And a little stoppage there out on the field. Mustangs, again, coached this season by Jerry Rogers Sr. in his 10th year. Josh Nairn and Vernon Chandler, the assistants. Jerry Rogers Jr. still with the program as well, be helping out from time to time. And Dr. Michael Kulish, again, the longtime head coach of the Thomas Jefferson Jaguars. The Mustangs, even though Thomas Jefferson's been strong over the last couple of years, Laurel Highlands has played the Jags pretty tough, even though Thomas Jefferson's won the last 5 meetings. TJ knocked off Laurel Highlands just 3-1 here at LH a season ago, and you go back to the 2022 season, another Jags team that made the WPIAL quarterfinals. Thomas Jefferson knocked off Laurel Highlands just 1-0 in both of those matchups as well. A little line drive as the Jags try to send it there into the top of the 18, sent back out by Matt Kolensick as the Mustangs try to gain possession there with Cole Radcliffe, but sent back on the Jags back line to Bryce Kamig. We'll send it out of play on the far side. Actually rule this off of Laurel Highlands and out. Now check that, it did go off the Jags and out. They just sent it back closer to the Mustang bench. A little bit of a misplay there by Casey Mahoney on the back line. Goes back to Daniel O'Neill, who will line it out on the far side. Jags knock it down. And Braden Miller looking across again, and O'Neill there. Another save there for the Mustangs. Daniel sending it out to Connor D'Amico here on the near side. Touched there by Tanner Brusda. And won back again by Kamig. And a little pressure put on there on Jackson Nairn. And the ball going back to O'Neill. On the seat of his pants, has to pick that one up. The Jags certainly showing some early pressure here in the opening 3 minutes. This match scoreless here early on. And a quick whistle. They didn't play the advantage there. Then the Mustangs had control. Actually allowed Thomas Jefferson to get a couple of defenders back. As Connor D'Amico has it here on the near side. Sends it over in the back line to Casey Mahoney. Touch back up to Brusda, who's done a nice job at least last Friday for the Laurel Highlands football program, showing quite a leg as both the Mustang punter and kicker, and expect him to be a force here on the pitch for high school soccer as well. Owen Householder down the near wing here for Thomas Jefferson. Householder going down in the box, and he wants a penalty. He might get it here. Had a little contact inside the 18-yard box there with Brody Baker. And they're going to put this down, it looks like, for a penalty kick. They will. It'll be Jacob Shoemaker to take it from 12 yards out. So Shoemaker versus O'Neill here at the 36-25 mark of the first half. No card was issued, but Shoemaker an opportunity here with a penalty kick. Here's Shoemaker on the run-up, and a low shot, and O'Neill with a great save for Laurel Highlands. Daniel O'Neill stopping Shoemaker on the penalty kick, and this match remains scoreless. The shooter always with the advantage there on the PK, but O'Neill, the early denial, giving the Mustangs a little momentum here coming back. Certainly, TJ, a big-time favorite coming into this match, again, preseason number 1, according to the Triple I High School Sports Network in 3A. But the Mustangs, an early denial on the penalty kick. And now trying to spring into action on the offensive side. Here's Rockwell playing it back to Brody Baker. And Rockwell again. As the Mustangs try to establish a little possession here, edge of the Thomas Jefferson zone. And now Baker and Shoemaker go shoulder to shoulder. Foul called there on Shoemaker, one of the Jags captains, and a free kick here for Laurel Highlands. Jackson Nairn to take it. The freshman line drive, top of the box. This one will roll wide of the goal. And it'll be a goal kick here for Thomas Jefferson. Sam Wessel, the Thomas Jefferson keeper. And they're starting 11 here. Jacob Shoemaker, Braden Miller, Bryce Kamig, Benjamin Powell, Evan Olson, William Mosier as Wessel sends it out. Dylan Legeza, Owen Householder, Logan Schaefer, and Colin Smith. And the starting 11 for the Jags. They're looking to break here again. The pass there a little bit behind Miller. Is able to regain, line drive into the back of the net. Nothing O'Neill could do with that one. And Miller scoring from about 35 yards out. Putting it there where Mama keeps the cookies. No chance at all for O'Neill. And Miller giving Thomas Jefferson a 1-0 lead here at the 34-34 mark of the first half. And certainly a tough one there for Laurel Highlands. Miller just a perfectly placed shot on the Thomas Jefferson side. Now the Mustangs look for control again there with Brody Baker down the near boundary. Touch back to William Mosier. And Jacob Shoemaker. Sending it wide there to Miller again. Look out, here's Braden Miller. Side of the 18-yard box, trying to cut back in. Miller staying with it. Little poke out on the Laurel Highlands side.
Jaguars goal by number 3.
But the Jags retaining possession. 33-48 left here in the first half. Another touch in the box. Look out here, O'Neill coming out and pulling it away from Benjamin Powell, who was creeping in down the near wing. It's all kinds of scoring opportunities here for Thomas Jefferson early on. And O'Neill lobbing it back to center. A little poke back there from Logan Schaefer on the Thomas Jefferson side. Matt Kolensik there for Laurel Highlands. Ryan Rockwell trying to set it up. Denied for a moment on the back line, but the Mustangs push forward again with Brewsda. Chip there from Radcliffe. Look out, breaking. Here's D'Amico. And denied out in front. Actually never got back to Wessel. Shot attempt was blocked, and a nice dive there from Radcliffe to keep it alive. Of course, his brother Harry and sister Jocelyn played here at Laurel Highlands as well. Jocelyn now playing for Pitt Greensburg. That one cleared over the fence on the far side. We get a throw in here from the Mustangs on the far boundaries. Roman George sent it in. Over to Kolensik. Touched off there to Maddox McAllister. And sent out of play. And the Jags to reload again. And this one chipped up to the top of the 18-yard box. O'Neal will just scoop that up and roll it out on the near side to Brody Baker. Baker trying to touch it forward. In between defenders. Battling back there for the Jags on a good run was Owen Householder. Sent wide of the goal by the Mustangs. Will be a corner kick here for Thomas Jefferson. 31-41. Left here in the first half. Lone goal scored by Braden Miller. At the 34-34 mark of the first half to give Thomas Jefferson a 1-0 lead. That one sent out of play by Shoemaker. Off his head, off the far post. It'll be a goal kick here for the Mustangs. As Daniel O'Neal will chip it out here on the near side. Over to Baker. As the Mustangs again try to set it up. Mustangs playing a modified 4-5-1 here today. With a diamond in the middle. Radcliffe at the top of the diamond. As the lone striker. See how that works against this tough Thomas Jefferson attack. And really couldn't fault the Mustangs at all for that opening goal that was yielded, and now an offsides called here as Householder behind the last Mustang defender breaking into the box. Laurel Highlands getting possession back here again through the midfield here with Brewsda. Off to Matt Kolensik. It's a rather young Mustang squad. I'm talking to head coach Jerry Rogers. The offseason went well, and they're primed and ready to face some tough competition here in the fall of 2024. Have it now back through center. Low ball from D'Amico got knocked down. And Connor back on it. Resetting here in the Laurel Highlands zone. Good pressure from William Mosier. Mustangs double team, now a whistle. What do we got here? We have foul on Thomas Jefferson and a free kick for the Mustangs. Again, this early season match, a good stamina test and a good fitness test for the warm temperatures here tonight. See how it affects the guys out on the field. That one sent down in Radcliffe's direction. But Kamig playing it off to Sam Wessel. We'll reset here on the Thomas Jefferson side. Up to Braden Miller, going shoulder to shoulder there with Tanner Brewsda. Went off of, at least the Mustangs were saying it went off of Miller and out, and it did. Got a couple of Laurel Highlands substitutions here. Checking out Connor D'Amico. Checking in will be 65 Jackson Baker, seeing his first match action. And one other substitution as well. Try to Zach Rossell. Either Rossell or Perkins. We'll double check that on the Laurel Highlands side as the Jags try to break back. O'Neal again to the top of the box, scooping it up and slowing things down on the Laurel Highlands side. Rolled back out in the far boundary. It might be Radcliffe there on the foul. As the Jag went down, I think Cole might have clipped Pockrell on the shoulder, which sent him down, and we'll have a free kick here for Thomas Jefferson. Pockrell's still down. He wants an injury stoppage here. And he'll get it with 27:55 left here in the first half. And now the Jags will make a change. Again, this match on the South Union Township Sports Network tonight. I have to thank our fine sponsors for bringing you all of the action, not only tonight, but throughout the course of the season. We'll pass those sponsors on to you in just a moment. As we're quickly back underway here with a little low ball at the top of the 18-yard box. Breaking in here is Shoemaker. And the Mustangs with the denial, sitting out on the far side. This match brought to you by Smith Lewis Chess CPAs in Uniontown, Davis & Davis attorneys at law, the Sprouse Insurance Group and insurance agent David Hughes, SWGI specialist, now a part of U.S. Digestive Health. Chesler's Fine Furniture at 51 north of Uniontown, the UPMC Rehabilitation Institute and physical therapist Jim Burns, United Bank, the Laurel Highlands Boys Soccer Boosters, and South Union Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott. Nice block there in the box by the Mustangs' Jackson Nairn on Shoemaker's shot attempt. It looks like that's Ethan Perkins that checked in on the Laurel Highlands side. Again, we were trying to verify that. And nonetheless, we'll have a corner kick here for Thomas Jefferson. Jags leading 1-0 on a Braden Miller goal. And this one deflected high into the box. And Miller trying to get another crack at it there. Partially fanned. Now trying to regain side of the box. Playing catch here on the near side with Benjamin Powell. And then a good clearance there on the Laurel Highlands side. Sending it back to Sam Wessel. And that was Jackson Baker with the clear out there for the Mustangs. Jags, though, putting the pressure back on. A little run forward there from Shoemaker denied. And Brody Baker sending it off to Brewsda. And now Jackson Baker will clear it back to center. Bryce Kamick trying to knock it down. Cole Radcliffe trying to step up. Look out here. Radcliffe on the break. Down the near wing as two Mustangs to his left. Radcliffe will fire and just send it wide off on the far side. But a great opportunity there for Radcliffe as the Mustangs nearly tied the match. Laurel Highlands certainly has to be encouraged by that. Hanging with one of the top teams in the WPIAL tonight. Now Samuel Wessel will blast this one out. A little stoppage here. Now Wessel given the go-ahead. We'll send it back to center, headed there by Kolensik of the Mustangs. Helped along by Brewsda. The Jags looking for control down there with Braden Miller. Miller trying to step forward, had Shoemaker to his left. Good defense again from Laurel Highlands. This one lobbed over to O'Neal. He's able to make the save there for Laurel Highlands.
Number 65, Jackson Baker. Number 28, Ethan Perkins.
The Mustangs again try to play it back to center there to Ryan Rockwell. Dribbled out of play in front of the Jaguars bench. Thomas Jefferson, a roster close to 50 players on it. Plenty of depth. It seems like no matter what the sport is, Thomas Jefferson always seems to be a contender. There's a little double team on Gavin Kern here on the near side. Kern wanted a foul there on the Mustangs. I don't think he's going to get it. Going to go the other way. And a free kick here for Laurel Highlands. Kern, a sophomore coming off the Jags bench here today. With the warm weather, I think both of these schools' benches will get plenty of opportunities. They ruled that off of Laurel Highlands here on the near side. So it'll be Kern to send it back in on a little lob. Benjamin Powell getting a touch. Playing it up to Shoemaker, top of the 18, and the Mustangs trying to take it away. Jags with control again, but the freshman Jackson Baker there blasting it back to center. He'll take the safe route here as Kamig send it back in Sam Wessel's direction. And back on the near boundary to Benjamin Powell. Kamig again. And a little contact there between the Mustangs' Casey Mahoney and Owen Householder of Thomas Jefferson. Jags get it off the Mustang foul. Braden Miller on the far side trying to dance into the box. Good slow down there from Ethan Perkins on the Mustang defensive line. 24-42 left here in the first half. Still a 1-0 lead for Thomas Jefferson over Laurel Highlands on a Bryce Miller goal at the 34-34 mark of the first half. Now the Mustangs out of their own zone with Jackson Nairn. Trying to play it up to the front line, and Perkins down there along with Cole Radcliffe. The Jags getting control back here on the near side with Benjamin Powell. And going down was Gavin Kern. We'll get a Laurel Highlands foul. Free kick here for the Jags and Powell. Powell let it go back here to Bryce Kamig. Kamig will take it. And a lob into the Mustang zone. Played away there by Brewsda. Controlled again by Matthew Conroy, by Thomas Jefferson. The Mustangs pick it up again, trying to spring Cole Radcliffe. And Radcliffe's going to get an opportunity here as that one actually deflected off of Wessel on the run, and Radcliffe trying to stay with it. Shifty move there on the cross, but over the head of Ethan Perkins. And another great scoring opportunity, though, for Laurel Highlands. Great run from Radcliffe. Thought the initial send-down might have been a little bit too far on the through ball. But Radcliffe at the top of the 18, able to get to it there before Wessel, and actually deflected off of Wessel, and almost gave Radcliffe an opportunity there even before the crosser. It was intended there for Perkins. So I have to like the hustle on the Laurel Highlands side so far this evening. And I'll pick up control here again with Matt Kolensik. Kolensik down the far wing. Getting it back on a little give and go. Kolensik into the box. Crosser. Radcliffe's going to let it go through, and Baker on the blast. And a line drive blocked there by Wessel again. But the Mustangs buzzing right now. Down one. Another opportunity here with a corner kick upcoming. It'll be Brewsda to take the corner. Tanner putting it down. A little lob. Headed there by a Jags defender. Reset on the Laurel Highlands side, and a line drive just going wide there from the freshman Jackson Baker. The Mustangs plenty of opportunities. Again, you look at how highly regarded Thomas Jefferson was coming into this match. The Mustangs going shoulder to shoulder with the Jags here early on. Hudson Scott now seeing his first match action on the Laurel Highlands side. Checking in for the first time. Another change, Lucas DeGia. DeGia also in for the first time for Laurel Highlands. It's Jacob Shoemaker. Trying a little through ball there intended for Braden Miller. And again, Daniel O'Neill stepping up and taking another one away there for Laurel Highlands. Over to Jackson Nairn. Get a little bit dangerous there at the top of the 18 defensively for the Mustangs. O'Neill, if you're just joining us, actually stopped a penalty kick about 3 minutes into the match by Thomas Jefferson's Jacob Shoemaker. And the goal he yielded from Braden Miller, about 35 yards out, just perfectly placed. And I think the Mustangs could do about that one. Jags looking for a little cushion. And a little shoulder there from Jackson there. No foul called. We play on. Jags keeping possession for now. Trying to work down the far boundary. 18-23 left here in the first half. Shoemaker trying to battle, but the Mustangs take it away here again. Looking to break back. A lob down the far side. Jack Johns also in on the Laurel Highlands side, wearing number 2. In fact, Johns taking this throw in right now. Over to Ryan Rockwell. Rockwell trying to make a little room for himself and a little slide tackle there on the TJ side by Gavin Kern. And the Jags win the ball back as William Mosier will send it back in. And a little open space on this break. Here's Owen Householder, got tripped up just outside the 18-yard box by Jack Johns. Will be a free kick, not a penalty kick, just a free kick here for Thomas Jefferson with 17:30 left in the first half. It's still a prime scoring opportunity. See where they put it down, about 23 yards from goal. They have 3 players in the vicinity. Mustangs a little 3-player mini wall as well. Trying to stop any kind of scoring attempts here on the Thomas Jefferson side. Wall positioned back, and now the blast going high and wide here on the near side. And a goal kick upcoming for Laurel Highlands as the Mustangs continue to shuffle the deck here with substitutions. But you have to do that on a warm night. Again, our match coverage here tonight brought to you by Smith Lewis Chess CPAs in Uniontown, Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law, the Sprouse Insurance Group and Insurance Agent David Hughes, SWGI Specialist, now a part of U.S. Digestive Health, Chesler's Fine Furniture at 51 north of Uniontown, the UPMC Rehabilitation Institute and physical therapist Jim Burns, United Bank, the Laurel Highlands Boys Soccer Boosters, and South Union Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott. 16-19 left here in the first half. Still a 1-0 lead for Thomas Jefferson over Laurel Highlands on a Bryce Miller goal at the 34-34 mark of the first half. Jags a free kick here just on the edge of the Mustang zone. Angled wide here on the near side. Hudson Scott trying to head it out. William Mosier trying to play it back on the Thomas Jefferson side. Goes back to Bryce Kamek, who sends it out of play here for the Jaguars, and the Mustangs will take the throw in. Be Rockwell to take it. He'll lob it down on the near side. In Cole Radcliffe's direction. Radcliffe from the corner. Quite a scrum there, and then getting a piece of it there. Hudson Scott on the cross. Going right over to Samuel Wessel. We'll send it out on the Thomas Jefferson side. It's over 15 minutes left here in the first half. Jags still leading the Mustangs by a score of 1-0. Connor D'Amico touching it off to Hudson Scott. Ruled that off the Mustangs and out. Scott thought it went off of William Mosier. Didn't get the call going in his direction. Now the Jags trying to turn it back. Here's Householder into the box. O'Neal coming out with another nice save for the Mustangs. Daniel O'Neal coming up big again for Laurel Highlands. Jags, though, keep buzzing. Little touch off there from Shoemaker. Played back to center. Letting it go was William Mosier. Went off of Laurel Highlands. Now Mosier resetting. Going to send it off to Shoemaker in his direction. Mosier picking it back up. And played up to the top of the Jags. Winers, Braden Miller. Looking for the brace here tonight. Nice little takeaway from Jack Johns on the Laurel Highlands side. Johns breaking back for the Mustangs. Through ball too far there. On the chase down intended for Luke Grimm. Not sure why our graphic is showing 2nd and 2. Must be the shots and the saves tonight. Try to work on that. And again, opening soccer match of the season here on the South Union Township Sports Network. Coming to you live on the YouTube channel as well on the South Union Township Sports Network. Had some issues with our Facebook connection for whatever reason tonight as well, but we're live on YouTube. Hopefully you're enjoying the action, whether you're watching it live tonight or on an on-demand replay, either on YouTube or on BreezeLine or Armstrong Cable. Understand our buddy Gary Smith a little bit under the weather this week. We hope Gary's doing well. You know, the staff at Cal U and the students appreciate all of Gary's efforts all the time. Jags looking for another break here on the cross, and O'Neal another save. they've been peppering them tonight. Only one's gotten by him so far. Daniel, a little blast out here, controlled by Radcliffe. Sent down on the near side. Intended for Hudson Scott, but out of his range. William Mosier tried to go quickly here on the Thomas Jefferson side. We're down to 12:34 left in the first half. Score remaining 1-0. Thomas Jefferson over Laurel Highlands. Jags picking it back up again. Another through ball too far that time for Gavin Kern. And O'Neill sending it out to Luke Grimm. Mustangs now resetting on their back line. Brody Baker. Touch from D'Amico. Over to Scott. Now D'Amico again. Now going behind Matt Kolensik. Picked up again by Casey Mahoney. Headed down by Colby France. And now the Jags trying to set it up here again on the attack. This time it's Shoemaker. O'Neill coming out again. Taking the ball away from Jacob Shoemaker. They've been all around Daniel O'Neill tonight. He's done a terrific job in goal against the top-ranked Jaguars. 11:25 left here in the first half. Jags again with Shoemaker. That one going over the far boundary and out. Last touch by Thomas Jefferson. It'll be a goal kick here for the Mustangs. Brian Morozak alongside Billy Dice tonight. Nice to have you along with us here on the South Union Township Sports Network. Start of the high school boys soccer season. Opening match of the year for both Laurel Highlands and Thomas Jefferson. Last couple of years have actually opened up the opening play date. They used to have it Labor Day weekend, and like we've seen with high school football as well, they've allowed the season to start about a week earlier. Mustangs trying to avoid getting sloppy here in their own end, but Brewsda able to settle things back down. Elliott Bohr into the match with a touch. Over to Ryan Rockwell. 10:22 left before halftime. Mustangs through their diamond trying to set it up. Bohr another touch. Off to Brewsda. Good blast forward, and on the run here is Roman George, but the through ball again a little bit too far there for George, and picked up again by Samuel Wessel on the Thomas Jefferson side. Wessel now taking his time. He'll line it back towards center. A little step up there from Brody Baker. Over to Radcliffe. Cole with good control. I'm going to rule this off of Thomas Jefferson going out. And Cole has battled some injuries the last couple of years for the Mustangs. You can certainly see looking a lot like Brother Harry in past seasons out in the pitch tonight. Ryan Rockwell to trigger it back in. Go over to Jackson Nairn, talented freshman for Laurel Highlands. Actually saw him last year in one of the Mustang 8th grade games that we picked up against Uniontown, and might have had 4 or 5 goals in that match. You can see why he's starting as a freshman on this Laurel Highlands team. Jags again get control. And it's going to be offsides on the far side. A free kick again for the Mustangs. Again, our next match will come your way next Wednesday. Week from tomorrow will be the Laurel Highlands girls against Thomas Jefferson here for Mustang Field. And we'll have the Laurel Highlands boys the next day against South Fayette, which will be another tough matchup. This Laurel Highlands boys team. The boys on Thursday will be on the road at Ringgold taking on the Rams. As Roman George plays that one back to Daniel O'Neill. That one miscleared as it's picked up there by Shoemaker. Going to settle it down the backside, but went through Braden Miller and out.
Now playing for the Mustangs, number 10.
And a goal kick here for Laurel Highlands. Chase Hall now seeing his first match action, another Mustang freshman. Laurel Highlands probably used about 20 players so far in this match. Shows a lot for their depth here early on in the season. And a lot of schools like to get non-conference matchups in. Is that another line drive? That one was taken by William Mosier. And O'Neill, another good save. Both Thomas Jefferson and Laurel Highlands, aside from a couple of scrimmages, no real warm-up non-conference matchups, getting right to it in conference play here tonight. 7:19 left in the first half. So 1-0 lead for Thomas Jefferson over Laurel Highlands on the Bryce Miller goal. Just over 5 minutes in. Jags try to turn back again on the attack with Shoemaker. Deflected down, allowing O'Neill to pick it up there on the Laurel Highlands side. Mustangs again through center. All pinballing back and forth there. Good attack on the rundown from Nairn. I checked that. That was actually Chase Hall. The play whistled down. Free kick coming back here for Thomas Jefferson. With 6:27 left in the first half. And the lone goal scored by Bryce Miller for Thomas Jefferson at the 34-34 mark. That's been it. And Samuel Wessel now will blast it out here on the Jag side. Radcliffe trying to pick it up for Laurel Highlands. Cold double team, staying with it and picking up possession. Trying to play it forward here to Roman George. A good defense by Colton Smith and Logan Schaefer on the Thomas Jefferson side, slowing down that Mustang attack. 5:45 now left in the first half. It's been competitive back and forth between the Jags and the Mustangs. There are a fair share of scoring opportunities on both sides here tonight. Mustangs trying to clear. Jackson Baker defending. Ball sent to the top of the 18-yard box. They're trying to free up Miller again. Goes wide where Maddox McAllister controls there for Thomas Jefferson. Mustangs send it off to Chase Hall. And deflect it out. We approach the 5-minute mark now of the first half. Yeah, Mustang throwing from their own zone. Go the safe route back to Jackson Nairn. Jackson will line drive, looking there for Radcliffe. Deflected back by the Jags, and Nairn gets another piece of it there for Laurel Highlands. Mustangs able to spring it up there to Radcliffe. Jags on the control again there. Matthew Conroy a touch. Played back on the near side now to William Mosier. Down the near boundary, unable to knock that one down was Nathaniel Rice, number 6, who was on the near wing there for Thomas Jefferson. One deflected out. Mosier to take the throw in. 3:50 left here in the first half. Mustangs trying to avoid giving up one late. Shoemaker on the cross, no one home. Now the Mustangs on the counterattack. Blast forward, looking there for Radcliffe, trying to spin his way back. And Schaefer on the clear out again for Thomas Jefferson. Headed there by the Mustangs, Brody Baker. Jags knock it down again. Coming back into the box, Shoemaker on the cross. Again goes out the rear end. Where Jackson Baker controls for Laurel Highlands. Jackson, nice little sidestep down the near side. Again looking for Radcliffe. They weren't on the same page there. Cole trying to get back into the play. It's spun back away by Matthew Conroy of Thomas Jefferson. That one's lobbed back into the Mustang zone. Maddox McAllister there for Laurel Highlands. Today was actually the first day of school for the Mustangs. Kids getting back into a routine. 2:45 left here in the first half of the match. Back in O'Neill's direction. Daniel blasted back out. Final 2 minutes and 30 seconds of this first half. Brewsda on it, and that one going through Cole Radcliffe and out. And Thomas Jefferson will again take the throw-in. A lob back to center. Brody Baker's there. A little help there from Ethan Perkins. The Mustang bench has played well tonight. Got a little sloppy there, look out, but a nice little slide tackle back into the play. I think that was Nair, and it was. The freshman slowing down that attack. You get that kind of play from a freshman, well, it really looks promising for future seasons on this Laurel Highlands side. Down to 90 seconds left here in the first half. Elliott Bohr over to Roman George. George top of the 18. Little sidestep. Radcliffe on the blast. Just missed wide on the near side. Boy, you had the heater on that one. Just not on goal. A minute now left here in the first half.
1 minute remaining in the half.
Now Wessel from his own goal. And able to get controlled there by Nathaniel Rice. So Mustangs look for the last scoring opportunity of the first half, but they're not going to get a run here either. That one went off a Roman George and out. Then the 30 seconds left. Jags will get a toss in here from Mosier. And now Kamig sending it forward, 20 seconds left. Try to angle it off. Maddox McAllister knocks it down, and it's blasted forward by Jackson Nairn in Radcliffe's direction. Final 10 seconds of the first half. Down to 6, down to 5. Another good slide tackle defensively, that time from Maddox McAllister, and that'll do it for one half of soccer. Thomas Jefferson, a 1-0 lead over Laurel Highlands after 40 minutes of play. We're back with the second half in about 10 minutes here on the South Union Township Sports Network. Prime Rozak, Billy Dice back here on the South Union Township Sports Network, starting the second half. Thomas Jefferson a 1-0 lead over the Laurel Highlands Mustangs. Bryce Miller, the lone goal on the Thomas Jefferson side, came just over 5 minutes into the match at the 34-34 mark, and that's been it as far as the scoring's been concerned. Daniel O'Neill's played great in goal for the Mustangs, including stopping a penalty shot taken by Jacob Shoemaker about 3 minutes into the match. Now we'll switch sides, and the Mustangs will work right to left as we described it for the final 40 minutes of play, as the Laurel Highlands will try to knot this match up with Thomas Jefferson as Daniel O'Neill gets an early touch. If you're watching this match on Breezeline or Armstrong Cable, I'd like to let you know that all the South Union Township games and programs are available live online. It's easy to find. Just log on to youtube.com and search South Union Television to find the archive broadcast, or follow the South Union Township Sports Network on Facebook for live games. It's facebook.com/South Union TV. Again, either live on the South Union Township Facebook page or the YouTube page. And there's a free kick and a good line drive there from Jackson Nairn, putting it right on goal to Samuel Wessel. And Wessel, like O'Neill, has been very solid tonight on the Thomas Jefferson side. Shoemaker settling it back for the Jags as they try to set things up, working left to right here early on in the second half. But that one out of play on the far side, and Brody Baker will take the throw in. Over to Casey Mahoney. And back again to O'Neill. In high school football coming up on Friday, Laurel Highlands traveling to Ambridge to take on the Bridgers. With Laurel Highlands and Ambridge winning this past Friday. Mustangs with a win over Uniontown 45-20. Ambridge downing Western Beaver. Both programs were 2-8 a season ago. Here's Ryan Rockwell down the near boundary to Roman George. George trying to keep possession and fight into the 18-yard box. Good defense there on the Thomas Jefferson side. Mustangs get on the ball again with Jackson Nairn looking there for Bruisda. Going back to Bryce Kamek, who will settle it off to Sam Wessel, the keeper. And Wessel blasted back into the Mustang zone. Jags get possession here on the near side with Owen Householder. His right to Braden Miller, and Miller setting it into the back of the net. Again, another well-positioned shot as Miller tucked that one in the top right corner for the Jags' second goal of the match. And a brace for Miller. Miller scored at the 34-34 mark of the first half. Now adding his second here at the 37-36 mark of the second half. With Thomas Jefferson on top by a score of 2-0. And that one certainly stings on the Laurel Highlands side. Miller, a sharpshooter. See a lot of guys on the next level not able to tuck him in the way Miller has on his two goals here tonight. He's a senior. His last year playing soccer here at Thomas Jefferson. Now the Mustangs trying to play from down two. There's a lot of soccer left. 37:08 left here in the second half of the Jags buzzing again. That was Householder trying to break into the box. His cross, though, got knocked down. And the Mustangs with a head of steam coming back here on the run. That was Matt Kolensik who brought it down. Now Radcliffe in the box line drive into the back of the net, and Laurel Highlands right back in it. Cole Radcliffe at the 36:45 mark of the second half give Matt Kolensik the assist. And Laurel Highlands down just one. And that goal coming less than a minute after Miller's second of the night for Thomas Jefferson. Good answer back. Kolensik the assist and actually set a lot of that up. An impressive rundown back through center. Now things have opened back up. Miller again looking for the hat trick. Off a deflection picked up by Jacob Shoemaker. He'll cross it in. O'Neal, a good block there, sending it into the football crossbar. Will, though, be a corner kick here for Thomas Jefferson. And actually had O'Neal leaning the other way, and Daniel did a good job there just to get a piece of it and deflect it high. Now the Jags another opportunity here off the corner. Shoemaker to take it. Shoemaker, a little line drive, a little contact in the box. We play on. Look out here, another blast just going high. TJ buzzing right now.
Mustang goal by number 8, Cole Radcliffe.
So Radcliffe getting the first Mustang goal of the season. Now in his junior year, Kalensic on the assist. Mustangs turn it over there in midfield. Logan Schaefer on the throw-in, but controlled by the Mustangs' Tanner Brewsda. Down on the far side again to Connor D'Amico. D'Amico going shoulder to shoulder there with a Jags defender. TJ knocking it out of play. D'Amico trying to reload. Mustangs looking for possession there with Nairn. Radcliffe sends it wide on the far side. Mustangs losing control, though, with Brody Baker. Now the Jags on the counter attack. Nairn defending. Good job there, just sending it wide. Slowing down the attack there from Schaefer. Just over 5 minutes into the second half. Score was 1-0 TJ at halftime. Now the Jags leading the Mustangs 2-1. As Miller and Radcliffe have exchanged goals for the respective teams. Now the Jags buzzing here again. Schaefer trying to play it back here to Miller. Never got to the goal, blocked wide. Went off of Laurel Highlands and out to be another Thomas Jefferson corner kick. Shoemaker taking it again. High lob, header going high and wide of the goal. Mustangs get it now on a goal kick, and they'll make 3 substitutions here at the 33-47 mark of the second half. Again, our match coverage brought to you by Smith Lewis Chess, CPAs in Uniontown, Davis & Davis, attorneys at law, the Sprouse Insurance Group, and insurance agent David Hughes, SWGI Specialist, now part of U.S. Digestive Health. Chesler's Fine Furniture at 51 north of Uniontown. The UPMC Rehabilitation Institute and physical therapist Jim Burns. United Bank, the Laurel Highlands Boys Soccer Boosters, and South Union Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott. O'Neal just a little settle off here on the near side to Jackson Nairn. That one off a header, played down to Luke Grimm. And touchdown of play by Thomas Jefferson's Logan Schaefer. Ryan Rockwell will take the throw in. Headed there by Pockrell on the TJ side. Nairn gaining possession back again for Laurel Highlands. For a little line drive forward, went through Radcliffe. Headed back, and Nairn trying to get a piece of it again. TJ's Jacob Shoemaker there. He'll settle off on the far side. Pockrell a little lob. Scott looking to control play, whistled down. Foul here on the Jags. Free kick for the Mustangs. 32-20 left in regulation. Still 2-1 Thomas Jefferson over Laurel Highlands. The blast into the box. Radcliffe got a little bicycle kick there. Sending it wide on the far side. And the Jags will get a goal kick. And the Laurel Highlands girls will start their season tomorrow. They're in a section this year with Thomas Jefferson, Albert Gallatin, Oakland Catholic, South Fayette, and Uniontown. And we'll have the girls here a week from tomorrow on Wednesday, September the 4th against Thomas Jefferson. They were scheduled to play here yesterday in a non-conference game against East Allegheny. For whatever reason, that match was postponed. They'll open up on the road tomorrow against West Mifflin in a non-conference game. In fact, their game against Thomas Jefferson will be their conference opener next Wednesday. Here's Nairn from just inside the TJ zone. Line drive, and that one going right towards Samuel Wessel, who makes the save. We'll send it out quickly here on the near side to Braden Miller. And we're trying to lob it down in Logan Schaefer's direction. Nairn getting another touch there for the Mustangs as Jacob Shoemaker picks it back up again for Thomas Jefferson. Head to Braden Miller, looking for the hat trick. Miller breaking back, trying to stay with it. Good defense there from Brody Baker. Miller still on the ball, crosses out in front. Healed back there by Brewsda, controlled again by the Mustangs. They send it back to Radcliffe at center, trying to send it over to Ryan Rockwell. And the Mustangs settle things back down in their own zone, trying to come forward. 30-36 left here in the second half. Thomas Jefferson a 2-1 lead over Laurel Highlands. Brian Morozak along with Billy Dice here on the South Union Township Sports Network. Matt Kolensik over to Rockwell. Rockwell got upended, and that should be a free kick here for Laurel Highlands. And the Mustangs get an opportunity here about 26 yards from goal. It'll be Tanner Brewsda taking the free kick here for Laurel Highlands. Under a half hour left in this match. Brewsda an opportunity to tie things up. TJ sent up their wall defensively. Samuel Wessel, the keeper. Bruised on the blast. Just sent it wide on the far side. That was oh so close. Great opportunity there for Laurel Highlands and Tanner Brewsda. The match remains 2-1 in favor of Thomas Jefferson over Laurel Highlands. Steve Super checking in on our live stream, enjoying the match tonight. Steve, a big soccer fan. Never misses a match around the area. Appreciate tuning in, Steve. Here's Braden Miller. Again for Thomas Jefferson. Miller back into the box. Look out here. Miller on the cross out in front. Goes through on the near side. Schaefer the shot. Another great save by Daniel O'Neill. O'Neill has been fabulous tonight in goal for the Mustangs. And Rob Schaefer there from point-blank range. Jason Taylor is doing the PA and the scoreboard here. Actually came up to me at halftime and said, where we get this goalie at? O'Neill's been fabulous tonight. He was on the JV squad a year ago and certainly has upped this play this year. And a little contact here, might have a card issued. And Manny Dice checking in as well. Appreciate Manny watching the match tonight. Hello, Manny. So did we have a card shown here, Jason? This is like a foul against Thomas Jefferson. And we'll play on with the Mustangs having control here with Cole Radcliffe. Radcliffe touching it back there to Brewsda. Brewsda circling around the midfield. Mustangs playing this new diamond in the midfield here today. More of a modified 4-5-1. And it's been successful against a very strong Thomas Jefferson team we mentioned coming in as Radcliffe gets pulled down. Another free kick here for Laurel Highlands. Thomas Jefferson's won 5 straight against Laurel Highlands. The Mustangs have been competitive against the Jags over the last couple of years. TJ coming off of quarterfinal round playoff appearances over the last 3 years. And there's Nairn on a low ball. Mustangs looking for control there with Ryan Rockwell. That's TJ finding a loose ball, trying to spring. Braden Miller again. O'Neill way out and a good clear. Deflected down by a Jag there at midfield, but picked up by the Mustangs' Luke Grimm. Nairn again on a little lob on the far side. Off a body and over to Matt Kolensik for Laurel Highlands. Kolensik picked up an assist on the lone Mustang goal scored by Cole Radcliffe at the 36-45 mark of the first half. No matter the outcome of this game, the Mustangs have to be happy with the way they've performed. And coming in a big underdog, 6-11 a year ago, just 4-10 in conference play. And when they got the conference assignments a couple of months ago, really have to be thinking, oh no, you see Thomas Jefferson, you see South Fayette, see Trinity again. Ringgold's always strong. Really no easy nights out on the pitch. Playing the teams the Mustangs are facing here in 2024, and we'll see them again next year, as this year starting another 2-year cycle for high school sports in Western Pennsylvania. Off the body of Rockwell. Nairn sending it high in the air. Luke Grimm trying to chase it down. Comes wide here on the near side. Orion Rockwell showing a little body there towards Logan Schaefer of Thomas Jefferson, and they'll get Rockwell for the foul. The Jags get the free kick here. Almost 15 minutes into the second half. Competitive match here tonight between Thomas Jefferson and Laurel Highlands. Jags send it back into the box again. A little contact there right around the edge of the 18-yard boxes. Jackson Nairn sent down Logan Schaefer. Ruled just out of play off of Laurel Highlands. Will be a corner kick, though, for the Jags. And both of these teams making wholesale substitutions. About 4 changes on the Laurel Highlands side. Jags making a switch or 2 as well. Jacob Shoemaker will take this corner kick. Shoemaker sending it high on the backside. Header out in front. O'Neal finds it again. Had kind of a magnet towards the ball here tonight. And his first varsity start coming up with some big saves on the Laurel Highlands side. Now the Mustangs trying to set it up here again through the midfield. Radcliffe. Low ball on the far side, just too far for any Mustang to make a run down. And Jack Johns on the near side, and a little token pressure shown there from Jackson Baker on the far side. With the ball's back in the hands of Sam Wessel, who drop it now just outside the box and align it back towards center. On the little chip ahead, look out, another opportunity here for Braden Miller, looking for the hat trick. O'Neal way out with another save. O'Neal coming up big again. Robbing Miller, who had another nice breakdown. Again, he's had both TJ goals tonight. That should be a foul from behind as Rockwell got knocked down. Another free kick here for the Mustangs. Infraction committed there by Evan Olson on the Thomas Jefferson side. Mustangs will have Casey Mahoney taking this free kick as we go under 23 minutes left in regulation. Mahoney on the lob down. Radcliffe sending it wide here on the near side. Maybe went a little bit too quick that time. You see the ball pop to you top the 18-yard box. Can't blame them. Eyes wide open for sure. And Laurel Highlands trying to turn things around after a couple of tough years. 6-11 last year, 8-10 in 2022. Actually had a 6-year stretch of making the WPIAL playoffs from 2016 through 2021. Unfortunately, weren't able to win a playoff game in that stretch. Missed the playoffs in 2015 and had a nice little run from 2012 through 2014, including a couple of playoff wins. There's O'Neal coming out again with another save. Mustangs' last playoff win came back in 2014. First-round win over Southmoreland. You're going back almost 10 years now to the last time the Mustangs won a playoff game. And another one a lot back in O'Neal's direction. Again, they kind of had him leading the other way. And Daniel, another good save there for the Mustangs. Off another shot attempt there from Braden Miller. He shows up, time flies, hard to believe. Already the 10th year for Jerry Rogers as the Mustangs head coach, and some lightning in the background. Weren't really expecting any kind of rain tonight. Have to think it's just probably heat lightning more than anything. Didn't see anything on the radar. I'm not sure how any kind of a stoppage would work for heat lightning tonight. I don't think the officials saw it, or this one would have got whistled down. This one will get deflected out of play here on the near side. With 21:04 left here in the second half. And we're live on the South Union Township YouTube page tonight. Brian Morozak along with Billy Dice. We have the link up on the South Union Township Facebook page, also up on the WMBS Facebook page as well with a link up. But again, our broadcast on YouTube tonight, for whatever reason, had some network connections trying to go direct to Facebook tonight. We'll try to get that rectified before our next soccer broadcast here from Mustang Field, which will come your way next Wednesday. And the Laurel Highlands girls will take on Thomas Jefferson, conference opener for the Laurel Highlands girls soccer program.
This game is being live streamed. WMBS. South Union Sports Network.
A little contact there at midfield. Ryan Rockwell went down.
Will be available on the South Union Sports Network YouTube page.
It'll be a free kick here for Tanner Brewsda. More than midway through the second half, Mustangs still down a goal at 2-1. Brewsda to take it, big blast here. Let's go over the goal and out of play. He's shown plenty of range on the football field as well. Saw some nice kicks from him Friday against Uniontown. In our match action tonight, brought to you by Smith Lewis Chess CPAs in Uniontown, Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law, the Sprouse Insurance Group and insurance agent David Hughes, SWGI Specialist, now part of U.S. Digestive Health, Chesler's Fine Furniture at 51 north of Uniontown, UPMC Rehabilitation Institute and physical therapist Jim Burns, United Bank, the Laurel Highlands boys soccer boosters, and South Union Township supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott. And that's Shoemaker sending another one high and wide there for Thomas Jefferson. Down under 19 minutes left in regulation. Still a 2-1 lead for Thomas Jefferson over Laurel Highlands. About 3 minutes in, Jacob Shoemaker had a penalty shot attempt that was saved by Daniel O'Neill. Bryce Miller got the opening goal of the match at the 34-34 mark for the Jags. Then got his second less than 3 minutes into the second half. Under a minute later, Cole Radcliffe scored for the Mustangs. Assisted there by Matt Kalinsick, and that's where we stand right now at 2-1. Thomas Jefferson over Laurel Highlands. Jags get a throw in here from Logan Schaefer. He'll lob it down to the near side here to Jacob Shoemaker. Shoemaker on the cross and no one home on the backside. Got a play for a Mustang goal kick. O'Neill will put it down again for Laurel Highlands. Now the Mustangs playing out of their own zone. Touch there from Ethan Perkins, who's played well off the Mustang bench. Over to the freshman Jackson Baker. Ball goes out of play again off of Thomas Jefferson and out. It'll be Brody Baker to work it back in. So both the Baker brothers out there, Jackson and Brody. Brody a junior, Jackson a freshman. Seen plenty of time out on the pitch for the Mustangs tonight. Jags looking for another opportunity. Shot attempt blocked there by the Mustangs' Tanner Brewsda. Both Brewsda and Nairn have given the Mustangs great support, both through the midfield and defensively tonight. And Nairn super impressive, along with Roman George, two Mustang freshmen have gotten the start this evening. Certainly good to see for the future. We'll turn back there from Brewsda. Mustangs trying to spring somebody on the backside and play whistled down, but a foul here on Thomas Jefferson's another free kick for Laurel Highlands. Time starting to wind down, 16:24 left in regulation. Mustangs will blast here from just inside of the Thomas Jefferson zone. Brewster takes it, high lob. Radcliffe trying to chase it down. Radcliffe trying to stay with it. Just a little bit too deep to the left of Thomas Jefferson keeper Samuel Wessel. So now the Jags an opportunity with a goal kick. Up next for Thomas Jefferson, they'll have their home opener coming up on Thursday. They'll host Bethel Park. They'll play a couple of games this weekend as well in the Bell Vernon tournament. They'll play the host school Bell Vernon under the lights on the gold turf on Saturday nights at 8 o'clock, and then play Sunday afternoon against Connellsville, also at Bell Vernon. So a couple of Labor Day weekend games for the Jags. Their own conference game next week at Albert Gallatin, coming up on Thursday, September the 5th. At 15:18 left in this one. Thomas Jefferson still a 2-1 lead over Laurel Highlands. This one played back to Sam Wessel again. Wessel taking his time with no pressure here from the Mustangs defensively, and now Laurel Highlands put a little token pressure on here just to make Wessel scoop up the ball, and you'll see some longer delays maybe on the TJ side, trying to hang on to a 1-goal lead here in the final 15 minutes. Which should take too long. You can get carded for that, but in that situation, the Mustangs showing no pressure at all, and Wessel wasn't holding the ball, so he could have stood there all night if he wanted to. Laurel Highlands still some good pressure here on the near side. The ball going out of play. And Ryan Rockwell will send it back in. Get a substitution here, we will. Tanner Brewster to check out. I think it's Jackson Baker coming back in on the Laurel Highlands side. Now check that, 42, Elliott Bohr into the match. There's Nairn defensively for Laurel Highlands, over to O'Neill. Played forward there to Casey Mahoney. And good pressure on the backside again from the Jags, just sending it wide on the run down there from Braden Miller again, and some of these guys, especially on the TJ side, look a little aghast. Again, it was in the upper 80s when we started this match, still pretty warm. Billy Dice and I were joking at halftime. We probably will lose 10 pounds apiece. We're just up here broadcasting the game. It's a oven press box tonight as well. There's Ryan Rockwell down to Radcliffe. Good run from Cole Radcliffe, looking to tie the match line drive, and he sent it into the side of the goal. Mustang fans thought he tied it, but it went into the side of the goal. Oh, so close there for Radcliffe. Those optical illusions. Won't get too many better chances than that. .12:48 left in regulation. Radcliffe again trying to get back at it. And Roman George off to his left. Control there again on the Mustang defensive line from Brody Baker. Off of Radcliffe's head. He'll heel it back here on the near side to Elliott Bohr. And now Radcliffe on the give and go, unable to control. Over to McAllister. Up again to Rockwell. Here's Ryan Rockwell trying to spring forward. Rockwell pulling up, needs a little help. Pulls it back to Bohr. Rockwell, he went down inside the box. What do we have here? Is this going to be a penalty kick? Looks like it is. Wow! What an opportunity here for the Mustangs. Rockwell down inside the 18-yard box, and Laurel Highlands is going to have an opportunity here with a penalty kick to tie this game with 12:07 left in regulation time. Thomas Jefferson coming in preseason number 1 in 3A. And the Mustangs an opportunity to tie it here. With 12:07 left in the match, it'll be Jackson Nairn, the freshman, facing the junior keeper, Samuel Wessel. So here we go. Nairn trying to tie this match up at 2. Nairn on the run-up, and the blast. Initial save by Wessel. Nairn gets it back and ties it up. Jackson Nairn, the freshman. And we're all knotted up at 2 with 12:05 left here in the second half. What a goal from Nairn. Showing good hustle there on the follow after the initial save from Wessel on the penalty kick. Nairn getting it back and beating the junior keeper to tie this match up at 2. Goal coming at the 12:05 mark of the second half. So the Mustangs, who were down 2, less than 3 minutes into the second half, you think, oh no, just here we go again. Thomas Jefferson going to flex their muscle and come away with a win. Now here it's Laurel Highlands again. Radcliffe on a quick steal. Wessel came out and made the save. Unfortunately for Laurel Highlands, they had nobody in the vicinity. But the Mustangs have tied this match up at 2 with Thomas Jefferson with 11:44 left here in the second half. We've gotten great goalkeeping tonight from Daniel O'Neill. Goals from Cole Radcliffe and Jackson Nairn. Matt Kolensic's picked up an assist. And even a tie would be a huge result here for Laurel Highlands tonight. They're not settling for anything, though, right now. With 11:15 left here in the second half. Talking about how tough the conference is. Boy, you get an early season win over Thomas Jefferson. I'm going to show you're in the running for a WPIAL playoff spot. Connor D'Amico trying to chase that one down. You see all that stuff in the preseason about how tough the conference is going to be. You look at what your team did a season ago, but you have a lot of good young players on this Laurel Highlands team, and certainly a different group than a year ago, and they're energized this evening. TJ, though, with control right now, a little heel back. And the Jags, a little buzz, but Jackson Nairn on the denial on the shot attempt there from Shoemaker. Here's Radcliffe coming back for the Mustangs. Cole Radcliffe trying to dance his way back into the Jag zone, staying with it. To his left, a little give and go there with George. And Radcliffe staying with it again. Radcliffe on the cross, put it off the post and just wide. Another great opportunity for Laurel Highlands. Mustangs have gained control of the momentum of this game, certainly this juncture, as we go under 10 minutes left in regulation. Mustangs and the Jags tied at 2. Brian Morozak along with Billy Dyson. This game has certainly exceeded expectations this evening. That one knocked down by Brewsda. And a little turn back there from Shoemaker. Shoemaker on the chip. Controlled by Brody Baker and just sent out of play. It will be Thomas Jefferson's ball. We'll get it here on a throw-in. .919 left in regulation. Lobbed into the box, and Nairn another clear out here on the near side as Roman George looks to chase it down. Was controlled by Logan Schaefer on the Thomas Jefferson side. Touched up there by Lagaza. And angled back in Schaefer's direction here on the near side. And good hustle from Roman George to send it out of play. Will be another corner kick, though, with 8:40 left in the second half. This one lobbed on the back post. Jags unable to knock it down, go out of play on the far side. TJ saying it was touched by Laurel Highlands going out. Referees do not agree. They give it to the Mustangs. I'll get a couple of changes here. The ball put back into play. Ryan Rockwell, a little header there for Laurel Highlands. 8:05 left in regulation time. I have a Mustang down on the far side. I think Radcliffe was down just for a moment. He's hopped back up. We play on. Looks like Cole not 100% right now. Another big collision there between Ryan Rockwell and Logan Barron of Thomas Jefferson. Ball comes loose, top of the 18, and that one sent high and wide. These teams looking pretty gassed right now with 7 minutes left in regulation time. Another little collision there as the Mustangs look for possession. They'll get it, Ryan Rockwell, and that one going off the heel of Roman George and out. TJ on the throw-in, taken here by Logan Schaefer. Another quick whistle. You had Jacob Shoemaker knocked down. Jacob Shoemaker will take this free kick. 30 yards out. Lobbed into the box. On the backside, it will go out of play. There was a lot of talk in the offseason about eliminating overtime for high school soccer games in the regular season. And after that, it appeared to be initially passed by the PIAA. It did not get passed by the steering committee, so I think the rule's pretty much the same as they were last year, 2 10-minute overtime periods until the first goal is scored. So if the initial rule modification would have passed, you would have had no overtime, just an initial tie in the regular season after 80 minutes of play. Here's Bruised, a little sidestep. We have 4:55 left here in the second half. And Wessel with a clear out there for Thomas Jefferson. Radcliffe coming back for the Mustangs. Wessel was way out of goal, able to retreat and settle things down. A dangerous situation there. Now Wessel will dribble it out with 4:26 left in overtime. Send it down to the near side. Headed down by Ethan Perkins. And sent out. And you could tell the energy level over the last 5 to 6 minutes on both sides has decreased. And a lot of that just due to the fact of the heat tonight wearing these guys down. And well played on both sides. Thomas Jefferson jumped out to a 2-0 lead. Laurel Highlands coming back with second half goals from Cole Radcliffe and Jackson Nairn to tie this match up at 2. And Laurel Highlands trying to spring Radcliffe now down on the far side. Cole got knocked down, and that's going to be a foul here on Thomas Jefferson. So a prime scoring opportunity for the Mustangs from about 35 yards out in the Thomas Jefferson zone with 3:33 left here in the second half. From 35 yards out, Cole Radcliffe lining up to take it here for the Mustangs. TJ making a couple of changes. And now a new rule that came into effect. The clock stops in the final 5 minutes on substitutions. That went into effect a year or two ago, basically making it so teams don't take long substitutions late in a match when things are close. They're going to ask to reset the clock here. They're going to put 3 minutes and 30 seconds back on the clock. Now they'll wind it here again once they put the ball in play for Radcliffe. So this free kick from 35 yards out on the far side for Laurel Highlands. Match tied at 2. Radcliffe on the run-up. High blast, just going high and wide on the far side. Now you'll have Wessel taking a free kick here for Thomas Jefferson. Clock rolling again. 3:18 left in regulation. And Wessel will send it down for the Jags. Little one-hopper. Mustangs get a little body to it. The control there by Jacob Shoemaker for Thomas Jefferson. Goes wide to Braden Miller again. Miller looking for the hat trick. With 2:51 to play. Miller on the cross. And the Mustangs denied and sent it out here on the near side. A gut check time here late. Match tied at 2. 2:38 to play. Getting back into the box and headed out off of Laurel Highlands and out. That was Brody Baker that time. Logan Schaefer to take this throw in for Thomas Jefferson. That one headed wide again, was sending that one in Owen Householder's area. Now O'Neal to take the goal kick with 2:15 left in regulation. How aggressive will the Mustangs get here late? O'Neal, little line drive. Played forward. Little collision, which way is it going to go? And the foul going the Mustangs this time. A lot of those bang-bang plays tonight. TJ going quickly here, goes into the box. O'Neal coming out, and a big save and a cover. Wow. O'Neal coming up big again for the Mustangs. That was Rockwell that went down, got pushed in the back, nothing called. We play on, 90 seconds left here in regulation. Things getting aggressive here late. All headed back and forth a couple of times. In the open space, Bruce unable to get a piece of it. And the Jags find it here again. That's Shoemaker. Shoemaker dancing into the box, comes to his left, looks to fire. Shot attempt got blocked. Good block there from Casey Mahoney. Now you had Maddox McAllister down. Who was the foul called on? Looks like it was called on McAllister. And they'll get a free kick here for Matthew Conroy and Thomas Jefferson. 45 seconds to play. Conroy takes the shot on the back post. O'Neal right at the goal line. Makes another big save. 36 seconds to play. O'Neal has been tested and then some tonight, and has risen to the occasion in his first varsity start. 25 seconds left in regulation. TJ is going to get one last crack at it here in regulation. Another line drive going right at O'Neal. Was able to poke it free on the near side. McAllister there, 7 seconds left. Mustangs is going to try to take the safe route here. And end regulation tied at 2 with Thomas Jefferson. And what a second half comeback here from Laurel Highlands to tie things up at 2 with Thomas Jefferson. And we'll have 2 10-minute overtime periods. And again, the first goal in either of those two sessions would end the match. In our match coverage tonight on the South Union Township Sports Network, brought to you by Smith Lewis Chess CPAs in Uniontown, Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law, the Sprouse Insurance Group and insurance agent David Hughes, SWGI Specialist, now part of U.S. Digestive Health, Chesler's Fine Furniture at 51 north of Uniontown, the UPMC Rehabilitation Institute and physical therapist Jim Burns, United Bank, the Laurel Highlands Boys Soccer Boosters, and South Union Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott. I'm Brian Morozak alongside Billy Dice. Opening match of the year for both Laurel Highlands and Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson coming in preseason number 1 in 3A. Off of 3 straight WPIAL quarterfinal round playoff appearances. Laurel Highlands, they've missed the playoffs the last 2 years, but you wouldn't know it watching this match tonight. TJ 16-2-1 a season to go. Laurel Highlands just 6-11. The Mustangs rallying from down 2 to force the extra session here tonight. Yeah, we mentioned there's a lot of talk, and the PIAA actually initially approved eliminating regular season overtime for high school soccer, but the steering committee reversed that decision and kept intact the 2 10-minute overtime periods, at least for the 2024 fall season. Certainly on a night like tonight, match very well played on both sides. Hate to see either one of these two teams going away with a loss tonight. If you happen to have a fresh player on the bench that you trust out there with some hot legs and a lot of speed, that could end up being a match winner tonight. Our Highlands cheerleaders here huddling in front of us. You see Alyssa Gallagher, Rodney's sister, still a part of the program down there as well. There's a big one for the West Virginia football program coming up on Saturday, hosting Penn State as they open up their season. College football here in full force this weekend. Players break the huddle. We're set here for the overtime session. Again, the first goal wins it. They'll play up to 20 minutes. If we're tied after 20 minutes, the game goes in the books as a tie. No penalty kicks here for regular season games. Mustangs will work left to right here in the first of the 2 overtime halves. TJ late break in their huddle off to our right. A little bonus soccer here this evening. Again, the next goal wins it. You have a Jag down here. Just breaking the huddle. It's a cramping situation. He gives the thumbs up for a moment. And it's Owen Householder. He had a lot of heat here tonight. And they might issue him off. And might be a little overgassed here tonight. I think you might want to get him out of there. Hopefully Billy's not zooming down there. You might need a little cleanup down here, too. That's what happens on a hot night when you head to overtime. Had a basketball game, Billy. We saw that a couple years ago. Yeah, down at, I think, Beaver County. Yeah. We're up at Beaver County maybe for that for the Christmas tournament up there. They're getting some water and other things out on the field here to clean this up. Now for the guys that are out there right now too, you have to stay loose. The other players could easily cramp up right now, too, and they're throwing some bottles of water down there, and they have guys coming out with plastic gloves on. But he lost his lunch for sure out on the field. Now these other guys out there trying to stay loose. Got the towels down there. It's not an easy cleanup. And these guys have had their fair share of heat acclimation as well throughout the fall season. Looks like they've adequately cleaned up the field, at least for the most part here. Still attending to the waste on the field. We'll want a little slide tackle into that for sure. And it looks like we're cleaned up and ready to go. Jags working right to left here in the first overtime session. Again, tied at 2. Pair of goals from Bryce Miller on the TJ side, Cole Radcliffe and Jackson Nairn scoring for the Mustangs. Now we're underway with overtime. Again, we'll play up to 20 minutes, 2 10-minute overtime sessions. But the first goal wins. It'll be golden goal situation. Unlike some of the international games where they play out the full overtime, you can have multiple goals. Not the case here in high school soccer. Ryan Rockwell went down. No foul called. We play on. No, we did have a foul there. Late whistle, so we'll have a free kick here for Laurel Highlands. It'll be Tanner Brewsda to take it from 40 yards out. Brewsda setting up his troops. Mustangs going wide. Brewsda, a pretty good blast there right on goal. For the save made by Samuel Wessel, the Thomas Jefferson keeper. Now the Jags break back, and good defense there from Hudson Scott on the Laurel Highlands side. That ball cleared over the Mustang cheerleaders and out of the near fence. We had Ryan Rockwell down on the Laurel Highlands side. He's going to check out of the match now. He might be cramping up as well. Kind of what we talked about. You had that little delay there in between regulation and overtime that was extended due to Householder losing his lunch, and kind of had some of the other players possibly cramping up there with the extended delay. Ball off the Mustangs going out there, and Nathaniel Rice taking the throw in. And TJ trying to spring forward there with Shoemaker. Trying a little settle down from Halliver. TJ trying to keep possession here with Gavin Kern. Geza over the top of the box. Mahoney's there. He'll just take the safe route and send it out here on the near side with 7:50 left here in this first overtime. And Gavin Kern will take the throw in. Kern, one of the backup goalkeepers for Thomas Jefferson as well, sends it in. The Mustangs able to clear the zone there with Ethan Perkins. And send it up to Radcliffe, who had a play on the backside. 7:10 left here in this first overtime. TJ will send it back in. That one going off the body there of Kolensik, and the Jags a little open space. Trying to set up their run, but the Mustang defense has been solid tonight, and they win the ball again. Hudson Scott sending it forward there to Elliott Bohr. Touched off by Brewsda over the head of Radcliffe. Going back to Wessel and another whistle. Stoppage here at 6:29. Is it going to be a lightning stoppage? We've had some heat lightning, which has been going on for at least the last half hour. And kind of interesting, they'd stop it now. You had at least 6 or 7 strikes in the last half hour. What's going to prompt them to stop it down? There was another flash. So 6:29 left here in the first overtime. They're going to clear the field. It's going to be interesting to see if they even resume this tonight. Ready here about 9:30 this evening. So we'll step aside here on the South Union Township Sports Network. We'll update you one way or another. Keep the live stream up and let you know if we resume this overtime session here on the South Union Township Sports Network. Match tied at 2. Laurel Highlands and Thomas Jefferson. 6:29 left here in the first overtime. We welcome you back to Laurel Highlands High School. We have just received word that this game will not be resumed tonight. We do not know the official result of this game. Both coaches seem to be in agreement that they're okay with a tie, but with this being a conference game, we'll go back to the WPIAL to see if they'll actually have to resume the rest of this overtime or if it will go in the books as a 2-2 final score. But again, because of lightning, this game stopped in the overtime session. We appreciate you joining us for high school soccer tonight. This game was brought to you as a joint cooperative venture featuring Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott, Armstrong Cable, Breezeline Cable, and our friends at CUTV, including Gary Smith. As of right now, this Laurel Highlands match with Thomas Jefferson stopped in the overtime, going in as a 2-2 tie. And for Billy Dice, I'm Brian Morozak. Have yourselves a pleasant good evening. Thomas Jefferson and Laurel Highlands end up tied at 2 in overtime. So long, everybody.